Hey guys, RandomFIX here, and today I'm going to be talking about buying a car at an auction. And these aren't like dealer auctions. You normally need to have a dealer license in order to get into a dealer auction like Odessa or Mannheim. I did that for about 18 years when I was younger, and I bought all over the country, different states, Southern California, twice a week. And I had an opportunity to preview up to 6,000, 9,000 cars a week. So I've spent a few days at the auction. And one of the biggest things that I see that is happening, though, people want to go buy cars at an auction because they think they're going to get a good deal. And there is deals to be had. I'm not saying there's no deals out there. But a lot of times, if you're just a regular consumer, you don't have a mechanical background, you don't have a body work background, collision background, right, upholstery background, and a car value background, so you kind of have an idea what a car should be going for. And I don't think Kelley Blue Book is the reason. What a value Kelley Blue Book tells you is the reason to buy it, because I've seen that fluctuate up and down. I've seen cars that Kelley Blue Book said it's worth $5,000 and it sells for $10,000, and cars that say that they're worth $18,000, and I've run them at the auction. I can't get $6,000, right? So we're not gonna get into that. I can tell you guys, Kelley Blue Book is owned by Cox Automotive, which owns Auto Trader, which owns the auctions like Mannheim, right? I have no idea how that passed. It should be kind of a antitrust thing as far as the auction owning Kelley Blue Book, and then Kelley Blue Book being a household name. So back to the auction. I think if you want to buy a car, your best bet, if you do want to go to a dealer, go to a dealer. Great. On there, there's great apps like Car Gurus, and you can check that. Avoid the accidents. There's a check mark, cars to no accidents. And some cars are in an accident, they're okay. I understand that. Some people will tell you this car was salvaged because it got hit by a bird or a dog. Completely possible. Would I bet my money on it? No. But it could happen. I've seen cars get totaled a lot for bumper replacements. Is it every single time? No, it is not every single time, right? When it's my own car, the car that I'm going to be putting my kids or myself in, I like to do a lot more research than just go on a whim that I think it could be a good deal. It's a pretty big investment and a really major headache. So a regular consumer just going down into the auction, where it could be a government auction, one of those dealers that poses as an auction, right? There's a number of these. Some of these places have a 10% add-on fee. So let's just say you buy a car, and we're just going to jump back to Kelley Blue Book just because people can understand that. They say the car is worth $11,500. You go down to the auction, and you went ahead and you bought this car for $10,000, right? And now they have a 10% fee. Right? So now you're at $11,000. Well, this car was running at the auction, so you didn't get you kind of felt a little bit in the competitive mode, and maybe you overlooked a few details or a couple of cosmetic issues or mechanical issues that you didn't pay as much attention to because you were more concerned about winning the car and beating the other person. Now, the other person being, you don't know who they are, right? It could be an employee of the dealer. I have seen, we call this shield bidding. I've seen shield bidding on accounts of so many different levels at major auctions, dealer auctions. Countless times I've had to get corporate involved. Not all the time that I get a happy ending. Sometimes I've had to bite some pretty big bullets. But nonetheless, you don't know who you're bidding against. So just because you saw a person there doesn't mean they were really a buyer. They could have been an employee, a cousin, just a personal favor for somebody to bid you up. They knew what the number was the whole entire time. They wanted you to get there. And sometimes it was you and him bidding. Somebody else sees you bidding, and there's two people on it. They think it's a great deal. A third guy jumps in. A fourth guy jumps in, right? And this is how this whole thing starts. So you end up overpaying for a car that has some kind of issues. Cars that maybe everything's not disclosed. Cars where the pre-required documentation or inspections, such as smog, were not done ahead of time, right? And now you're at you're stuck with this car because you got into this competitive mind state where you said, I'm gonna bid this guy up, right? So I think personally I would actually avoid any auction like that, even if they let you start the cars. I've seen plenty of cars where the car starts fine and drives okay until you put 30 miles on it. 30 miles later, the transmission has gotten nice and warm, and you start noticing that the transmission is slipping. Well, we happen to live in California, right? And so you say, hey, I can live with the slipping transmission. No problem. But now that the transmission is slipping, this car, the computer on the car detects that the transmission is slipping, and it turns the check engine light on. The check engine light is on now. Now it can pass smog. And we're going to see this come up and more as time goes on. And in different states, New York probably has very similar smog requirements as California does, right? So we might see this in Maine, Vermont, right? Even in Texas, when I was there 15 years ago, buying a car without a catalytic converter was very common, right? CATs, they call them. Now it's less common because they have emissions testing over there as well. So I would recommend going finding a car at a dealer, at a private party sale, right? You can try using an app, Craigslist, whatever you want to do, but don't get yourself hustled into the idea of potentially getting a good deal, but unlikely, in the honest likelihood, you're going to get yourself a big old headache and a big money pit. And I've seen people throw $10,000 at a car that's worth $2,000 because they wanted to be right, and I completely understand that. I don't think it's worth it. Just the mental stress of it, having to source the parts. I'm sure you may be able to get a good deal on the part, and maybe you even come out ahead. You make a few bucks, but you have your full-time job. Why would you want to do this? So just go and check out a car yourself. I'll try to leave a video on do another video for you guys on what stuff to look for when you're looking at a car. I'll show you guys how to use an OBD2 scanner. You can get them for about 20 bucks, right? I'll have the link somewhere in this somewhere on the screen at the end here. How to use that efficiently to tell if the car's got any major problems that the computer recorded. And not all the times, but most of the times, 90% of the times, it'll catch it. And if somebody goes and tries to clear that, like clear the check engine light, you'll know of it. It will tell you that the monitor's not ready, right? It'll have a pending code. A pending code, it means it hasn't, it's happened and the computer notices it, but it hasn't set a hard code for it, right? So I'll show you guys how to look for that. And this is from my own experience of the cars I've bought over the years, all the auctions I've attended, right? My failures, my successes, and I'm going to share this with you guys. So look for that on the video. Let me know what you guys think. And the last thing is, if you're going to go buy a car from either a dealer or an auction or a private party, take it for a long drive. I'm not talking about around the block. This does not count as a test drive. I'm talking about a drive up a hill, down a hill, right? Hit the brakes. If your foot is vibrating, that means the rotors are worked, right? Let me know if you guys have any questions or you want me to make a video on it. Take the car on the freeway, right? Let the car run a couple minutes, the AC on, standing still. See if the car is going to overheat, right? You want to know all those things ahead of time. And I'll do a video for you guys how to tell if the motor is good and why you want to go to the seller's house and in hope that they haven't started the car for the day. You want to get there nice and early and ask them not to start the car. If you're making an appointment to see it the night before, go there in the morning yourself, touch the engine and see if the engine's warm. If you ask them not to start the car and they've gone ahead and started in the morning, I don't know, could have some vitamin noise. Just my own personal experience. A cold start tells you a lot about it. When you first start it, what do you hear in the first 15 seconds? Are you hearing a lot of metal grinding or like a lot of clatter? Well, that could be evidence of a premature wear on a motor, right? So it could be bad valves, could be a bunch of stuff, right? But once the oil gets there, it normally tends to quiet those nuances down a little bit. So you wanna see if you can go there and start the car for yourself, right? If you're gonna go to the auction and it's a public sale, you want to go ahead and drive the car around. Ask them if they have a policy, if they'll let you drive it to their street, right? If you're at a dealer auction, some dealer auctions have a policy where you cannot take in your own scanner. I took in my own scanner for 18 years. I hid it in my pocket. I took it in because at the end of the day, I was paying for the car. It was my name, my reputation, right? And the dealer's money that I worked for, and I wasn't gonna take my job that laid back where I have somebody dictating the rules on what's gonna happen on my purchase. So I took a scanner. I always made sure that the car was ready as far as all the monitors. The monitors weren't set. I always did a pre-sale inspection, and don't do the 7-day if you're at an auction and they do offer you an inspection available. If there's a dealer watching this and you're attending a Mannheim or a Destin auction, if they offer you something like that, always do the 14-day inspection, right? And there's some limitations on how many miles you could drive. Know all that stuff before you pull the car out. If you're not sure, right, get somebody else there ask them for opinion. Use a paint meter. I'll try to include that in the link below, right? So there's going to be a lot of great resources. I'll make you guys a lot of videos. Please, if you guys want any particular videos about cars on how to tell certain aspects or how to what to look for, let me know. And I would love to do those videos that you guys actually requested. I've learned something for the last 18 years and I would love to share that with you guys. So thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful. Leave your comments below and I will try to answer you guys back as soon as possible. Peace and have a great day.